In this video, I want to show you how you can use the ideas from the last video about saving numbers that a user types into a pop-up window and put them together into a more useful program. So you always want to start your program by thinking about what you want the program to do in English instead of in Java. So here I've written that out using comments. First, I want to tell the user to type two numbers that equal 10. Then I want to ask them for their first number and save it. Then I want to ask them for their second number and save it. And then I want to check to see if the two numbers that they typed really do add up to 10. All right, so what if you don't remember how to do something like ask them for their first number? That's what the notes are for. So you're not supposed to remember it. You're supposed to look at a working example and copy the working example and then change the things that you need to change in order to make it fit your new program. So let's type it line by line. First, I'll have a print statement that says, please type two numbers that sum to 10. Now I'll ask them for their first number. Okay, so I don't remember what this looks like, so I'm going to look at my notes. So here are the notes we took in class, and here's a basic pattern. Ask the user for a number. So I'm going to just take this exact pattern, and I'm going to put it here. Except I need to change a couple of things. I don't want to ask them how old they are. I'm going to ask them to type your first number. The rest looks like it can stay the same, except I probably shouldn't call it age, because it's not an age anymore. So I'm going to call this num1. Okay, what about asking them for their second number? Let's just have those same two lines of code. And if you don't remember what these mean, go back and watch the first video. So now I'm going to say type your second number. I can't recreate the variable r, because r already exists up here. So instead I'm going to call it r2. And if they're saving their text inside R2, then I'm going to take that text that they typed and make that the input to this command, which converts it to a number. And then instead of calling it num1, because I already have number 1 up here, I'm going to call this number 2. So even though this looks confusing, remember what it means. Both these lines of code are just asking someone to type a number and then converting it into an int and saving it in a variable. And these two lines do the same thing, only they're going to save it in a different variable. So now num1 and num2 are the two numbers that they typed. So now I can use an if statement to check if they really add up to 10. I can check if num1 plus num2 equals 10. And then don't forget you need an opening curly brace. And now I can print thanks. Okay, let's run it and make sure it works. So you can see here, it says, please type two numbers that sum to 10. Type your first number, so that's 7. And now type your second number, 3. And now it says thanks. But if I run it again, and I type two numbers that don't add up to 10, if I type 3 and 2, you see it didn't say thanks. Because when it did this test, where it asks the question, are your two numbers added together actually equal to 10? The answer was no. It's false. They don't add to 10. And so when this test doesn't work, the code doesn't run the code, the Java doesn't run the code in between the curly braces. It skips to the end after this curly brace.